This
here
conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Do you want me to just read off the
Yeah, and
participants
people
list?
will just say here or not. Yeah.
Okay. Alan Minorian, there.
Yes, present.
Ann Sullivan,
Here.
Chris Clem,
Here.
Chris Timmel,
Here.
Daryl Amaral,
Here.
Derek Cravat,
Yep, here for Mass Stop Planning.
Dick Kilhart,
Here.
Frank O'Connor, oh, Frank, okay. George Cahaley,
Present.
okay. George Snow,
Present.
Guy Cobacero,
Here.
Mark Pamarini,
Yeah, here.
Miranda Rosario, no, Miranda, no. Oh. Miranda, can you hear me? Looks like your microphone's not working. R. Merrill,
Yes. Is my microphone working?
yes, it is. Rosemary Meisner,
Here.
Sarah Bradbury,
Here.
Steve Warfel,
Steve Wolf, representing Secretary and CEO of MassDOT, Jamie Tesler. Here.
and Tim Kilhart.
Here.
And so it looks like we do have a quorum, and but I think it looks like Miranda, your microphone's not working. So just to let you know. So yes, we have a quorum.
He's working on it for a bit. Yeah. All right. Excellent. So let's move to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 2, public comments. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the MPO today? I don't see anyone. Brad, do you?
No, I do not.
All right. So we'll move on to the next item, which is agenda item 3, which is the approval of the August 17th minutes. Can I get a motion and a second to approve, please?
I have a motion to approve it.
All right.
Guy Cobacero, second.
All right. Any changes or comments on the minutes? Seeing none. Brad, do you want to read the roll?
Sure. Steve Warfel, Mass DOT.
Yes.
Ann Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Mark Pamarini, Leominster.
Yes.
Guy Corbacero, MRPC.
Yes.
George Cahaley, Mart.
Yes.
Rosemary Meisner, Subregion, excuse me, Subregion 2.
Yes.
And Tim Kilhart, Subregion 3.
Yes.
So we have an approval.
All right. Thanks, everybody. All right. We'll move on to agenda item 4, which is the statewide long-range transportation plan. I believe, Chris, you're going to give an update.
This is me. Thanks, Steve. Hi, everyone. I want to let you know that MassDOT is hosting a virtual public meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. For the statewide long-range transportation plan Beyond Mobility. You can register for the meeting either through the Beyond Mobility hub page, which I've shared a link directly to before, and I'll also post the registration link in the chat. And there's also a second survey available on the hub page as well, asking the public to assess investment priorities and trade-offs. And there's also a couple new documents available, one of which discusses the results from the previous survey you all took. So I encourage you all to check that out. And that's all I have for updates. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Chris? All right. Seeing none. All right, we're going to move on to the next agenda item, which is the Safe Routes to School Infrastructure launch information. Miranda, is your mic working now?
Maybe?
Yep.
No? Okay. Thank God. Great. Do you all have the slide? Great. Perfect.
Yep. Yep.
So, hi everyone. My name's Miranda. I'm the Federal Programs Coordinator with the MPO Activities Group in OTP, and we launched the Safe Routes to School program or infrastructure grant program on Monday, October 3rd. So just here to give you a little overview on that so that you can pass this info on to your communities. Oh, am I able to? Okay, great.
If you just tell me, I'll go to the next slide.
Great. So the infrastructure grant is part of the Safe Routes to School program, which also has another grant program called the Signs and Lines program. It's a bit smaller, more of a quick build program. The infrastructure is meant to be a more in-depth, bigger budget project. We currently have 39 projects that have been completed since we began this program and 33 in progress. The budgets range from $200,000 to $2 million. You can go to the next slide. So eligible applicants for the Safe Routes to School program now include high schools. Unfortunately, part of our requirement is that schools need to be partners for at least 6 months. So if high schools just became partners when they found out they were eligible for the Safe Routes to School program, they're currently not eligible for this year of solicitation, but will be in the future. That said, regional schools that have had high schools and have been partners previously can apply to include their high school now. Schools must also receive public funding and are committed to ongoing Safe Routes to School activities. Particularly, we'd like to see schools that represent diverse socioeconomic communities apply. You can go to the next slide. Some eligible projects that the Infrastructure Grant Program funds, transportation, construction, and capital improvement projects that focus on improving safety and or increase the number of children walking and biking to school. The projects must be located within 2 miles of a K-12 school or school campus and are within the public way or a bicycle pedestrian pathway. The K-12 students must be the primary beneficiaries of the project, and they must be ADA accessible. You can go to the next slide. Some ineligible projects are recurring costs. So this could be considered payroll for crossing guards. That's not covered under this funding stream. Pavement maintenance, travel lane improvements such as widening travel lanes, which doesn't positively improve the pedestrian or cyclist experience. And school bus improvement projects are not eligible to be funded. Go to the next slide. Here we just have some examples of some kind of projects that we fund. So sidewalk improvements, traffic calming, crossing improvements, and a wide range of bicycle facilities. You can go to the next slide. So under this program, funding for design and construction is covered. There's no match required. MassDOT covers the match. Project costs are divided into 3 groups: a small project budget, $250,000 or less, a medium project budget between $250,000 and $800,000, and a large project budget, which is between $800,000 and $1.5 million. Go to the next slide, please. We also have budget examples just to help with your applications. The actual costs might be a bit different, but they're just there to serve as sort of an idea when it comes to estimating how much a project might cost. You can go to the next slide. Some other important project considerations. The projects need to be accessible, as we mentioned, and comply with ADA. They also need to meet the directives in the MassDOT Engineering Directive Controlling Criteria and Design Justification process. It'll explain a little bit more, but one of the things that isn't considered a bicycle facility is a share row. We want to see a separated bike lane or a dedicated bike lane. You can go to the next slide. So more considerations. The project needs to be aligned with the goals of the program, so including accommodations for walking and biking. This looks like sidewalks on both sides of the streets, marked or separated bike lanes, or a shared use path. Go to the next slide. So like I said before, Sharrows don't qualify as a true bicycle facility, and we really want to see projects that connect to a network and that are supporting children that are walking or biking to school. You can go to the next slide. So it's a bit small, so you can also see this on our website, but this is the timeline for this year's program solicitation. Applications are due on Friday, November 18th. Thank you. And we're hoping to notify applicants around the beginning of the year, or beginning of 2023, I should say. And you can go to the next slide.
That's all I have.
Oh, great. But yep, I'm sure these slides are available to folks. I'm available for any questions. But yeah, we'd love to see just a wide range of applications from communities across the Commonwealth. So happy to answer any questions.
Well, thanks, Miranda. Anyone have any questions? And Brad, I don't see any questions, but
So I just want to say that it is available. It's one of the downloads in our meeting file folder online that you can access through the agenda or through the MRPC website.
that was my next question, Brad, so that's perfect.
Okay.
All right. So I still don't see any questions, so thank you, Miranda. And everyone, please check this out. If you have any questions, reach out to Miranda, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. All right. Thank you. Let's move on to agenda item 6, I believe, which is the 2023 to 2027 tip. I know there's an item that's come up, Brad.
Yep.
So, all right.
And I will handle this. When we sent out with the meeting notices was just a copy of the projects we have in the tip for 2023 to 2027. Yesterday, we were contacted by Mass DOT asking us about if we could put together an amendment for today. So I put together this summary for everybody. It is also available in our folder, the meeting folder. Basically, we were contacted and notified that they wanted a project removed from consideration in the tip in fiscal year 2023 because that project was successfully advertised on August 27th of this year. And so for that reason, it can be removed, and a removal of a project from the tip requires an amendment process. That's spelled out in the TIP itself under the different reasons for amendments or adjustments. And you can see on this handout, I've put that, copied that information there for everybody to see. The project is number 609314 in the town of Ashby, and it's the intersection improvements at Greenville Road, Route 31, and Turnpike Road, with a total cost of $2.339 million. As it said, the project was advertised, and as such can come off the tip. And specifically, it spells out that a removal of a project meets the definition of a major change to the tip and requires the tip amendment process. So what we're doing is presenting this to the MPO for consideration and for approval to release this for a 21-day public review and comment period. And I haven't set up the dates yet for the comment period, but hopefully we can get it completed before the next MPO meeting. And so that's the item that's for action right now is MPO action to release for a 21-day review and comment period. That's basically it.
Can I get a motion and a second to send this out for public review?
So moved, Guy Corbacero.
Ann Sullivan, I'll second.
All right. Any questions anyone has? All right. Seeing none, Brad, you want to read the roll?
Sure. Steve Warfel, MassDOT.
Yes.
Ann Sullivan, MassDOT Highway.
Yes.
Mark Pamarini, Leominster.
Yes.
Guy Corbacero, MRPC.
Yes.
George Cahaley, Mart.
Yes.
Rosemary Meisner, Subregion 2.
Yes.
Tim Keelhart, Subregion 3.
Yes.
And that is it, and it's unanimous. So
All
we
right.
will put together a handout and a notice for the website and mailing indicating it's up for public comment.
All right. Thanks, everybody, with that. Thank you, Brad. Next agenda item, I believe, is agenda item 7, which is an update on the RTP. I'm assuming, Brad, it's you, or?
George Snow's going to handle most of this, so I'll
All right,
turn it
go ahead,
over to
George.
him.
Thank you, Brad and Steve. We have 4 updates for the RTP today for the MPO. The first one is on the vision statement. After receiving additional recommendations and consulting with the MJTC and MPO, it was decided that the following third draft version of the statement will be used going forward. The statement reads, the Montachusett Metropolitan Planning Organization seeks to provide a multimodal and inclusionary transportation system that is safe, secure, efficient, and affordable to all individuals while supporting and encouraging environmentally sustainable economic development, growth, and revitalization in the Montachusett region. This version takes the version agreed upon at the August MPO meeting and adds the word inclusionary. Used here, it is meant to include all transportation options for people of all means and all physical abilities. We have been moving on to other RTP-related topics, but if there is a need to revisit this statement in the future, we will do so. The next update is that staff is now reviewing the goals, objectives, and strategies of the 2020 RTP, and we plan to present minor revisions at the next MPO meeting. We do not plan to totally recreate them, but to see where any tweaks can be made to better reflect our values going forward. For the purpose of the RTP, goals are general statements of what we wish to accomplish. Objectives are specific items to help achieve the goals. Strategies are actions to be taken to accomplish the goals and objectives. The next update is that staff recently finalized the RTP Outreach Survey, which will serve to help prioritize the transportation needs of the region. We hope to incorporate this survey into our public outreach workshops, and the public will be encouraged to complete it. A link to the survey is now available on the MRPC website, and hard copies will be distributed to communities. Final update is
George,
that
can I just jump in for 1 second on
sure.
this?
Yep.
You can see the printed version here. We're going to distribute the printed version to various places in the region, specifically senior centers and possibly libraries. And as George mentioned, it is available online. If you go, this is the online version through SurveyMonkey. And if you go to the MRPC website, you'll be able to access it through the first item under the announcements. Take the Montachusett RTP Public Outreach Survey. If you click there, there is a link right here to take you to it, and the paper version is also available for download. So just wanted to throw that in.
Sure.
Thanks, Brad.
And the final update is that we have scheduled 6 public outreach workshops. 1 virtual workshop will focus on Fitchburg, Gardner, and Leominster. Each of the 4 MPO subregions will have their own virtual workshop that will focus on each subregion. And 1 in-person workshop is scheduled at Mart that will focus on transit. And of course, the public is invited to attend any of the workshops. And as Brad mentioned, staff recently completed a flyer that lists workshops and provides a general description of what an RTP is. A link to the flyer is now available on the MRPC website, and hard copies are also available. So that's it on the update, RTP update.
And I'll throw in that you'll see on the flyer there are QR codes. If you use your smartphone, it'll take you to the registration page. And if you do not wish to do that by that version, you can go to our website, as George mentioned, and go to, again, under announcements, the public outreach workshops are listed there. And there is a link to each web registration link for each workshop in the blue box for that particular meeting. And there's also a links to the online survey so that people can also take that if they wish. And we plan to have tablets and computers available at the workshops so people can fill out the survey themselves right there while they're attending the workshops that we plan on having.
All right.
So-
Any questions for either George or Brad? All right. Seeing none, please check out the materials George presented and be checking out the survey and trying to help get the word out for all of us. So thank you both. Thank you, George. All right, let's move on to agenda 8, which is updates. The first one's from the Highway Division. I know who wants to go first.
I can go first, Steve.
All right, go ahead, Ann.
I don't know if you want to pull up the tip for
Sure.
23, or you want me to just read it off, Brad?
I
You
will
had it in your attachment.
find, here it is.
Okay. So Westminster, Route 140, that is currently at PS&E. We just got a revised PS&E.
Oop.
That has some Article 97 that we need to work on. That's really going to be the time consumer, and that kind of ties into right of way. But other than that, everything seems to be good in terms of design. Gardner, the roundabout is at 100%. The PS&E is due November 22nd. That has kind of minimal permitting, and the city should be pretty quick with the right of way. Harvard Bridge, Route 2 over the Nashua, the 100% are due 11/4. That's a book job. It currently has, I think, a February ad date, but it will probably move out to April, but should be okay. No right of way, and I don't think there's even any permitting, even though some of it's over water. Fitchburg Route 2, it's at 75%. The 100% / PS&E is due December 12th. That has minimal permitting that's already underway and no right of way. Ashby, as we said, this is the project that was we just voted to consider pulling it off the tip. It was advertised in August. The NTP was issued to ET&L in October 17th, so just recently. And then Gardner Elm Street is our Safe Routes to School project. It's at 100%, and the PS&E is due December 1st. And minimal environmental permitting with that. And again, the right of way should be fairly straightforward. That's it for D3.
All right, anyone have any questions for Ann? Seeing none. Daryl, are you here for District 2?
I am. Good afternoon.
What?
So for District 2 for fiscal year 22, we've got project 608850 Petersham. This was advertised as a bridge replacement, Glen Valley Road over East Branch of the Swift River. Advertised June 11th. Bids were opened July 12th. It was awarded on the 29th, and an NTP was issued on August 16th to Tully Construction with a low bid of $2,140,000. In 2023, we've got project 608784. That's Templeton Roundabout construction at the intersection of Patriots Road, South Main Street, North Main Street, and Gardner Road. The design is currently at 100%. Reviews have been completed. PS&E was due on 9/16th, and I do have outreach and waiting updates. Current ad date is January 14th, 2023. Next is project 609107. That's Phillipston Templeton pavement preservation and related work on Route 2. Design is at PS&E. Final PS&E review was completed. Right away cert was issued and environmental is cleared. The current ad date is November 19th. We're ready for that. 2022. In 2024, we've got project 608723 Athol intersection improvements at Crescent Street and Chestnut Hill Ave. Design is at 75%. We're awaiting response to comments. 100% is due January 20th, 2023, and the current ad date is January 6th, 2024. And that's all I have for now.
All right, any questions for Daryl? All right, seeing none, thank you, Daryl. Next up is from Mart. Anyone from Mart want to give an update?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I do have some update on the projects we are working on. First one is the Air Depot Square. It is 90% completed. We're still waiting for the transformer to be installed. And the other project we are working in Air is installing a fencing at the rail trail area near the parking garage. Other project is the roof replacement at the ITC. It's 50% completed, and we're changing the color of the roof to blue, from green to blue. And also we are working on the Atoll Depot building. We changing the facade of that building and installing some windows too. It is 40% completed. This is what the other thing. This is the capital project. The other thing is we just updated the Atoll Orange shuttle schedule, and will be implementing that new schedule on October 31st. It will be Monday. We added a new stop location in the north of the City Hall to improve services to the communities. Other than that, I don't have anything.
All right, any questions for George? Seeing none, thank you, George. Next update is from the JTC. Brad, we have anything?
Just a couple of items. The MJTC did not meet last month. The next meeting of the JTC will be Wednesday, November 9th at 2:30 p.m. After that, they'll probably not meet in December, but beginning January 11th of 2023, we'll be back to on a monthly schedule with the development of the new tip and then also with the RTP going forward. The MRPC has successfully concluded our traffic count program for this year, and we utilized an outside contractor. They were able to complete some 60 plus traffic and turning movement counts. They have been reviewed by us and uploaded to MassDOT. Amos Engineering was the contractor for this program, and we're going to consider this approach again next count season as we go forward. MRPC staff last couple of months submitted 2 separate applications to the US DOT under new funding opportunities from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, otherwise known as BIL. The first was for a region-wide planning grant under the Safe Streets for All program. This application will seek to look at develop the safety action plan for the entire region so that we can then be eligible and communities can be eligible in follow-up years to apply for implementation grants through the same Safe Streets for All program. The second was for a planning grant also. This was just focused on the town of Athol under the Reconnecting Communities pilot program. The town wished us to proceed with the application, even though there's some question about whether it would be applicable at this point, but we wanted to follow up with the town and give them the opportunity to decide how they wanted to proceed. So we were able to get an application in, and that's going to examine the possibility of establishing a new interchange or connection to Route 2 in the South Athol Road. This has been a question of concern for the town for a number of years, and if we can get this planning grant through this program, or if we look at a planning option and some other funding options later on, we want to get a final answer to that question so the town can be satisfied. 2 handouts for discussion for everybody to see. I'll quickly bring them up. Here we are. The first is from the Mass DOT on the Northern Tier Passenger Rail Study. This newsletter is from September 29th. It outlines the next few steps in the process and also indicates that they'll be holding a public workshop this fall in which they'll address issues related to the phasing portion, the two-phase analysis portion of this project. We don't have a date right now, but if you're interested in this program and the public workshop, please take a look at the Northern Tier website, which can be found online at mass.gov/northern-tier-passenger-rail-study website. And on here, you'll get updates and information on the upcoming workshops and how to register for the workshops. And you can also register to receive regular updates directly from them. The second handout is from the U.S. Department of Transportation. It's a notice of funding opportunity announcement for the National Culvert Removal, Replacement, and Restoration Grant program. Eligible activities for this program include projects to replace, remove, or repair culverts that would meaningfully improve or restore fish passage for anadromous fish under certain U.S. codes. Also, the eligible people, eligible entities include state DOTs, local governments, and tribal organizations. They are eligible to apply under this program. The deadline for applications is February 26, 2023. This announcement, as well as any other information we have, is again also available on our MRPC website under the announcements page. You'll see it listed here in a National Culvert Program. This will give you the, you can download the announcement memo and also search out notices, the notice of funding opportunity, which is also available for download there. So if any community is interested, feel free to take a look at this. And if we can provide assistance, just let us know. We will work with the towns or anyone interested to see if to do what we can to help you submit a successful application. And that is all I have under MJTC.
Did that also cover the RPC, or does it got, so any questions first for Brad? And see, thank you, Brad. So Guy, do you have anything for the RPC thing, or Brad?
Yes, I have the RPC update from Glenn. There is just one item he has. He wanted to state that a digital equity planning and assistance is being with the development of multifamily zoning bylaws and ordinance with the MBTA communities in the region is continuing. It's being provided by the MRPC to our communities. If a community is interested in this issue, they should contact Karen Chapman at kchapman@mrpc.org for additional information, or they could call us directly and we can put you in touch with Karen so that you can find out what's going on and what assistance we can apply or give to the communities.
All right. Any questions? All right. Thanks, Brad. So I think we're done with the updates. So the next agenda item is administrative matters, which is the next meeting. When's the next meeting, Brad?
The next meeting is, if I can get back to where I belong, the next meeting is in November, and it will be November 16th at 1 p.m.
Okay. So please try to make it. We'll have at least the tip amendment. I'm sure we'll get an update on the RTP. Just a MassDOT administrative matter. If people are planning to attend Moving Together, which is November 1st, we are pretty close to actually shutting down registration. So please make a note if you have an intention of going, please sign up in the next week or so, because we are going to hit our cap and have to shut registrations down. So please keep an eye on that.
Oh, one thing I forgot. There was a chat item from Chris Timmel, and let me see if I can find it. He indicated he had to leave early for another meeting, but he wanted everyone to know Federal Highway is currently accepting requests for technical assistance across a wide variety of topics, such as civil rights, environmental, finance, performance, asset management, freight, data analytics, safety, operations, realty, etc. They're accepting these requests through November 4th of this year. If you have any of these needs or you would like some information or to discuss it, get in touch with myself here at the MRPC or with Chris at chris.timmel, Timmel, at dot.gov. And they can discuss that issue. And I should have some information on that too available. So if you are interested in some technical assistance from Federal Highway, either give myself or Chris a call. And if you didn't get that email address, you can contact me at bharris@mrpc.org and I can get the information to you.
All right, thanks, Brad, for catching that. So please follow up with Brad, and Brad can get more information from Chris. So please follow up on that. All right, last item is adjournment. Can I get a motion and a second to adjourn, please?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Ann Sullivan.
All right, all in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Have a good Halloween, and we'll see you in November. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.